Broadcasting from the Allen B. Levan NSU Broward Center of Innovation at Nova Southeastern University. Welcome to Sunshine Startups Live, featuring rockstar entrepreneurs, bright ideas, and experts on the startup ecosystem. And now your hosts of Sunshine Startups Live, Jim Ryan and John Wensveen.
Welcome once again to Sunshine Startups Live. I'm investor, entrepreneur, and startup enthusiast Jim Ryan. We're in season 2, post-VIP party here celebrating 2 years at the Levan Center. And of course, I'm joined by Dr. John Wensveen. John, it's great to be with you, and many congratulations to you on your second year anniversary. As you know, most startups don't make it. A lot of them don't make it through first year, but congratulations here on season 2 and
Fake it till you make it. No,
yeah, that's right.
No, definitely none of that. Thank you very much. It's exciting to be here after 2 years, and here we are broadcasting from our Levan Center studio and putting it to use, which is pretty amazing. So for all of those out there, John Wensveen, Chief Innovation Officer at NSU Florida and Executive Director of the Levan Center of Innovation, and we are on the tail of our celebration of our 2 years, and all three of us that are sitting around the table were there last night. I know this gets posted a little bit later, but for time purposes, it was a great celebration to really say thank you to all of those that made us what we are today. And one of the major stakeholders in allowing us to even launch is Broward County government. And we'll get into a little bit of that, I'm sure, in our conversation. And I'm very excited because we've got one of the masters that help make that happen and continues to make that happen with us today. So it's going to be a really great call.
Yeah, and making it happen for the Levan Center, but small business in general. He's a friend. He's built like a linebacker, but he's the quarterback, I would say, of small business and economic development. He's director here for Broward County. Sandy Michael McDonald, who is a real champion and cheerleader of growth here, specifically in Broward County. Spent over 10 years as director. And Sandy, thanks so much. I know you're a busy man. We were talking about you being virtually with us, and we wanted to take that opportunity. So excited that you were able to take 30 minutes with us physically here today. And briefly, I want to get into, obviously, what you do, because you do a lot. But I want to hear, and I think our audience wants to hear, about a little bit about your background, what brought you to Florida, and so forth. So kind of share with us a little bit about the Sandy Michael McDonald story, please.
Gotcha. And let's start with Jim and John. Thank you for having us. And again, celebration, 2 years. Wow. It's been fast, but it's been real and it's been exciting. And I'm glad Broward County, and especially my office, the Office of Economic and Small Business Development, has had an opportunity to participate and play a role. And you started off with the joke about the linebacker size, but maybe the quarterback, but that's how it started. See, I was this little thin guy back in Michigan. I was a quarterback, and I went off to college, and I got a scholarship to play quarterback. If my coach saw me today, he would say, "Where did the quarterback go? You look like a linebacker," so you're spot on. So again, born and raised in Pontiac, Michigan, went off and did college in Virginia Union University down in Richmond, Virginia. Got my start in community development in Washington, D.C., for about 11 years, working with at-risk youth and juvenile programs. And the last 4 to 5 years of those programs, it folded into economic development, because we found ourselves not only finding jobs and life skills for the population I was serving, we started doing it for their families. We started doing it for the communities. Lost my dad back in 1999. That's how I transitioned back to Michigan. Worked for my hometown, the city of Pontiac. Started as their Downtown Development Authority Director. Ran that organization for 10 years, helping businesses, startup businesses, existing businesses, and coming up with programs and initiatives back in Oakland County, where the city was, to help those businesses thrive and to grow, as well as to stabilize the city at the same time. And then after retiring, I was able to retire from the city of Pontiac. I started off doing a little consulting. And as while I was doing the consulting, this opportunity in Broward came up. And I got to tell you, I knew nothing about Broward, except, it used to be a little song back in the day. They kind of sing it with the Bad Boys, but that bad boys, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, I remember that. But that was from the Broward County Sheriff. So when a guy was talking to me, the recruiter, what do you know about Broward? I said, the only thing I know is that song. But at the end of the day, had some great conversations, some great interviews, and flew down here on April 4th, 2013. I had left 3 inches of snow on my car at Detroit Metro and got here, got the rental car, drove around, first time in this area, went to the hotel, went to bed, woke up, went to breakfast at the diner off of 95, and at 8:15 on April 5th, it was 79 degrees outside, and I remember I just left 3 inches of snow on my car. Long story short, I'm in Broward. Happens to be May right now. This is my 11th year celebration and excited about being here leading their Office of Economic and Small Business Development.
So 11 years, amazing. Broward County. It's funny, I grew up in Vancouver, Canada, and one of my favorite shows I used to watch starting at midnight until like 2 in the morning, I was just addicted, was Cops. And that's what Broward County was to me as well, funny enough. And my perception, of course, has changed now that I never knew I would live here, but here I am. And Broward County is one of the biggest counties truly in the nation, and you have an incredible portfolio related to small business and economic development. And I think historically between Palm Beach and Miami, Broward County has always been known as the tween, the in-between. There's some jokes around that, but Broward County is not the tween. I mean, we're the meat in the bun. We are the center of the burger, and it's small business that's really the root of our economy. And you have been so influential in helping the strategies along and getting businesses into market and making them self-sustaining, essentially, with all the resources and infrastructure they're provided, which just gets better and better on an annual basis. So give us a little bit of a lay of the land of what you and your office does here in Broward County, because it's a very significant impact.
Yeah, thanks for that, John. So the office in its entirety, the Office of Economic and Small Business Development, first, but most recently, we're the film office. So the county has always did film. And I remember back in Michigan as a kid, I knew about films and like where the boys are. Okay, that was in Broward County. That was one of our 8 beaches. So the Film Commission and the Broward County Commission became committed. So we've always shot film, but now we're intentional. We have a film commissioner, we have staff, we have incentives. We're trying to attract film to Broward County. That's in our office, and we're going to make sure if we're attracting film, and if they use our incentives, they also use our residents. They also use our businesses. They also use our small businesses. So it's all a part of the process. The economic development side, we do everything in partnership with you guys, from the entrepreneurship, the half-day courses, as well as the 11-week Kaufman New Venture Fast Track. We are a facilitator for the Kaufman program. But in addition to the consultations for the entrepreneurs, we also try to do business development. We want to make sure that businesses have an understanding of not just establishing an opportunity. And I tell all my businesses, I'm excited and I'm warm and welcome, and I'll come to your ribbon cutting. Blow me away when you invite me to your 3rd, 5th, and your 10th year anniversary. We don't want to just start businesses. We're trying to help businesses to sustain. So that's a part of the philosophy when we get going with them. And the county, through the Economic Development Office, also does international. I love the U.S., I love America, but I have to remind all of my businesses, especially my small, 95% of the world's purchasing power is outside of the U.S. And since we have the ports, since we got the airport, since we got our international activities right here, we try to do as much as we can to be that gateway, which we actually are because of the location, to those international businesses. And more importantly, make sure that my businesses know that they too can participate in exporting, which is why we do FITSE, the Florida International and Cultural Expo, each year. We bring over 70 countries each year. Last year, we had over 2,300 participants to make sure that they really understand how to engage the opportunities to do exporting and importing as an activity. The biggest part of the office is the small business side. I got here 11 good years ago, as mentioned, and the county was trying. We were doing a very good job of trying to make sure what we procure, we buy from some of the certified small businesses, some of the local small businesses. In 2018, I asked the county, do me a favor. If we're serious about small business, let's take the word average. We were trying to average 25% of what the county spend. And we know how average is. Some high, some low, but you primarily miss it. I said, if we're serious, let's remove average and let's create an ordinance that says at least 25. So we need to be crystal clear. The county's current program for small business participation for what we buy. We don't buy everything, but Broward County buys a lot. We got an airport. We got a cruise port. We got a Convention and Visitors Bureau. We got Broward County Transit, highways, roads, parks, libraries. The county buys a lot. And with that, we now have an ordinance that says at least 25% of what we buy, we need to buy from certified, locally certified businesses that come through our office. And I'm getting ready to thank our commission before they go on summer break in June and say, you trusted us in 2018 with changing average to at least 25. And I'm getting ready to make sure that they now know you attain over 31% of what the county buys. We buy from small businesses right here in Broward County. And that's bigger than just supporting small business. That's our GDP. That's our economic impact. Contractor wins a contract. He's going to spend some money to buy supplies and materials to do the job. Some of those suppliers are right here in Broward. Pays his employees. They're going to get that check. They're going to go home, pay that rent, that mortgage, grocery store, leisure activity, spending those dollars in Broward. By supporting at least 25% of what we do with our small businesses, we're preparing ourselves to have a greater, stable economy and to grow Broward County. And that's what our office does. And I'm just excited with the county commission, county administrator, and all of those prior since I've been here are truly committed to making it happen. And the last piece about that, people say, well, Sandy, why is that so important? Okay, you said it. As a county, we're larger than 11 states in the United States, Puerto Rico, and Washington, D.C. The District of Columbia, true name. And at the end of the day, 2 million residents, 31 municipalities, 17 chambers, but most folks don't know. 85,000 plus businesses are in Broward County. And what folks really don't know, 89%, all the industries, 89% of that 85,000 have 20 employees or less. So Broward's a small business community. So as a part of the economic engines, which is tourism, which is airport, which is cruise port, small business is a part of the economic engine, and our county has made a commitment to assuring that we not only support and develop the growth of small business, but by doing so, we are aiding in our own stability and our growth.
I had a chance earlier before, obviously, we talked about being on the podcast, looking up some statistics on Broward County. I have great interest in the county. I love being a Broward resident. The stat I saw was, I think it was based in 2015, was around 40,000 small businesses here in Broward County. It's amazing to hear you share. We're almost more than double that today, and obviously you and your staff, and take a piece of that celebration of that growth, champion small business development here. Over your 10, 11-year period, you've seen a lot, I'm sure. I just mentioned about the growth, 40,000, now more than doubling that number. Went through COVID. That must have been a really scary time, obviously. Businesses were shutting down. Looking at those challenges, Sandy, and seeing that growth, what do you think the future is as you look to attract small business here to the county today as well, working with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance? What are you hearing from some of the challenges from potential business owners here for the county, and what do you think the future looks like?
And actually, I'll take that in
There's
in
two
reverse.
parts of that, really.
Yeah. The future is bright. The future is really bright, simply because the county, as well as the region, but specifically our county, has made investments that are going to align with existing small business and create opportunities for other businesses, including small, to take hold of. Real quickly, one of the things that the county did through its residents 5 years ago, we passed the surtax. Used to be called Penny for Transportation, surtax. Now it's called MAP Broward, Mobility Advancement Program. In short, we collect a penny on the sales tax. And we generate over $355 million a year, every year for 30 years. The money can only be used for transportation operations, transportation services, infrastructure in the county and the 31 cities, and the future of rail. Knowing that if I'm a business, if I'm an entrepreneur, if I'm a startup, and if I was engaging government, I now know this county has committed for 30 years and it has 25 more years to go. So at least I know where they're putting some of my dollars. So based on my business industry or interest, I might want to consider that. Coming out of COVID, a lot of lessons were learned. Yes, we lost businesses that will never return. Yes, many of my businesses had to pivot. But some started recognizing they had inherited a business from their parents or someone else, and they were introducing an activity with their limited capacity to really know and understand. A lot of our businesses was working in the business, not on the business, in terms of expanding their opportunities. So COVID helped us to provide more technical assistance and training, and for some to just simply go back and revisit. Will your model sustain post-COVID? What do you do during COVID to then decide, do you pivot, do you revisit, or do you go in a totally different direction? Then beginning to understand that we're not the end-all cure-all, but government in terms of Broward. I got Broward schools, I got Broward sheriffs, I got 31 municipalities, I got Broward health. We can be a lead or we can be a seed to your business getting a better understanding, developing contracts, and as you're ready to grow in private industry as well as beyond, that's why our program is called Broward and Beyond, we can assist in that. So COVID helped us to realize that many of our businesses didn't have what they needed in terms of technology and innovation. Many didn't have what should be all of their paperwork digitized to this date. Many didn't have the dotted I and crossed T that they really needed even to apply for PPP or to get to IDO. So because of that, it afforded us, and the businesses were open. It afforded us the opportunity, and for some of them the first time, to say, let's take a real look, a real assessment of who you are, what you're doing, and where you're trying to go. And not just us as government, with all of our community partners. One of the things that I'm excited about, and the Levan Center is a part of it, ARROW, the Alliance of Entrepreneur Resource Organizations. That's 17 organizations in Broward, where at least 90% of most of the things they offer are free, that we want to make sure is available to the small business, the women minority business, the startup, the business looking to scale up. These are different organizations at different levels that can help the business. So COVID helped us to realize that it is about partnership. You don't have to get it all from the county. You can actually take advantage of what we have, different members and organizations have, then what the Levan Center have, and all of that's to the betterment of a business being able to sustain itself. So we learned our hard lessons. We did lose some businesses, but our future is bright, because if you just focused on the capital or the budget or the initiatives that's set forth by the county, if you so choose, you will see that government is just one of the additional opportunities a small business can participate in. And with that surtax, you got to remember, we got 25 more years. I'll guarantee within the next 20 years, they're going to decide to extend it to 30 additional years. So when you start talking about doing rail, the plan is in 2028, someone's going to fly into here. And they're going to go to the FLL. They're going to catch our train. And that train is going to take them to the convention center with this new hotel. It's going to take them to the port. 20 years down the road, you're going to catch that train. And you're going to catch it from Fort Lauderdale Beach, and you're going to go to Sawgrass. So the continuation of rail, the continuation of expanding, which is primo, 200 miles of transit, rapid transit, and rail in Broward are all workforce development, economic development, business and small business opportunities that the county can continue to march and share even beyond the state to bring more businesses in, which creates more workforce development opportunities.
So everything you're saying is inspirational. You're getting me really excited about, gee, I should go start a company. But I'm really curious, because there's a number of opportunities. And as you say, we got 25 more years, Matt Broward, and who knows what happens after that. But if somebody came to you and said, you know what, I want to end my 9-to-5 desk job. I'm not happy. I want to have impact. I want to do something. I want to create a small business, and maybe it'll scale into something larger. And someone said, what is the ideal business opportunity for me right now based upon the needs of Broward? What is that? And do you also provide a menu, for lack of a better term, to show what the needs are that we have to fulfill?
So we do actually provide a menu to show what the needs are. Actually, we have a pamphlet on our website. It's called Broward is Buying. So for the small business community and so the future entrepreneurs, since I'm government, see, I can't advise. I love the event last night because that also came up as a part of the conversation, how much government can say, can't say, shouldn't say. But at the end of the day, the government's not going to allow me to extend that liability. I told you to go do X. You did X. You didn't make no money. Now you're mad at the government. Now you want to sue. Mm-hmm. However, when I have those opportunities, I get to share with people, hey, there's a pamphlet. Everything that the county buys, all agency, my office sees it first. I see it because the ordinance says if I got at least 2 businesses, that's when I get to set that at least 25. If I have 1 business or no business, I can't set that goal. I have a list of everything the county buys that I have no small businesses at all. I have a list of everything the county buys where I have 3 small businesses or less. If someone just wanted to know where we're going, what have you been spending your money on? And if you're willing to do a little research, starting with the pamphlet that's free online, broward.org/econdev, they would see what the county's buying. And because I'm in Florida and there's a public record request, you can take whatever that item or that industry discipline is, and you can just ask the county, how often do you buy it? How much do you pay for it? And when's the last time you did contracts? you get that communication. So now you see that, oh, this is a recurring. Oh, it normally averages a 3-year contract with 2 option years. Oh, they've been doing this since 1987. Oh, it looks like they're going to continue this. Oh, and again, I started this by looking at a pamphlet that says he has 3 businesses or less. So maybe I've discovered something that if I'm willing to do some more research, I might have an interest in starting. So we use that as one of the documents as a part of an assessment tool so that I'm not telling people what to go do, but I can demonstrate what it is as a county we buy. I can demonstrate what it is as a county, where we're going, and I can tell you exactly who some of the on-record competitors are, and I can tell you with new emerging business, what ideas and opportunities there are for someone to bring and or pitch something we're not doing. And John, that's one of the good things. In at least 2 of your pitch competitions, and I've been to several, we found businesses who pitched here. One who pitched an idea that was spot on for the county, and at the end of the day, we hadn't given it no thought. Who's a contractor now with the county? Now we're looking to go in a different direction in understanding waste management and how we dabble in it. And I know Commissioner Furr, now Vice Mayor Furr, comes to a lot of pitch as well. But he and I attended one a year or 2 years ago, and the whole idea about compost, the whole idea about waste, a whole idea about a firm that's in a neighboring county realized the opportunity was here. That's currently a contract. So there's things that we do that are actually on the books that if folks understood that, I will say this as a gold nugget, as a tip. You want to know what government's doing. You want to know where your opportunities are, and do this in any city, any county, and any state. Pay attention to their capital budget. Find out the capital budget of your city, your county, or your state. Pay attention to their annual budget. These are the forecasts for dollars that are committed towards activities and investments as well as projects and initiatives. If you see those, and similar as an example with Matt Broward again, and you see it's a 30-year with 25 years to go, that's telling you where they're putting their money. It's not that there's not other things. There is. They all require some research. But these are some of the ones that are at your fingertips because the budget happens every year. Capital project recommendations happen every year. And you get to see the initiatives as proposed through the agendas in those 2 documents.
Sandy, I love the innovation. You were talking about even just, I'm attending a pitch and I hear something and wow, that maybe the county could be using this. And I also like your interest in continuing to demystify the process, because it was always, you talk to entrepreneurs and as I've mentored them and provided venture capital, I hear government, it's that's a long sales cycle, very difficult, friction. There's always a rub there. It's hard to break in. And so I love the idea that, innovation, demystifying, waving the banner and so forth, because it does really encourage the opportunity for entrepreneurs to work with government and for government to capitalize on that innovation as well. Where do you see the rub happening that continues today that you would really like to break through in that process? So as you're continuing to look to demystify and innovate, where does the rub continue to happen today?
So we definitely need to continue. Definitely need to continue to scream, because at the end of the day, the opportunities really are unlimited. They really are unlimited. We are intentional about trying to oversimplify the process, but own it. We're trying to own the fact that if I tell you come to the workshop to learn how to get certified, then I want you to leave me and go back home. And you can go to my YouTube channel, and then there's a video with somebody with a voice better than mine who's going to walk you through everything I just said. So now you trust me and you came and got certified. So the rub is when I say I got certified, I didn't get no contract. First of all, I never promise you're going to win. However, I do a session right after that called Certified Now What? I don't want you at home waiting for a contract to knock on your door. It's not. But when I can tell you through hot tips based on your discipline, this is what the county buys. This is the agencies that buy it. This is how often they buy it. This is the last 3 contracts and what they spent. And this is your opportunity to request the last bid tab when it went to the street, just like private industry. If you have all this information, you're really putting yourself in the best position to bid or become a subcontractor to another contractor. The biggest rub today is not so much folks not trusting government anymore. I still own, to your point, Jim, everything that you said. It was a mystery. It was taboo. It was, oh my goodness, they want too much. They want to drive deep. That was really true the last 20, 30, 40 years. It's not true now. I took our certification application. When I got here, I took 20-something plus pages. Guys, this is going to be 6 pages or less. And most of it's going to be the same information that in order to be a business, you already did with the state. So I'm just repeating what you already did before you met me. But the other part that's the real challenge is as a business is forming and starting, even as they're trying to decide, is government a good client option for me? Businesses have to be in a position and prepared to do business. So that thing about access to capital, that thing about having a stable plan, that thing about understanding with all the different cycles of a business from concept to early stage to growth stage, with all the different stages, understanding where they are and receiving assistance that if I chose to do government work, someone can walk me through that process. That's still our rub, which is why I'm excited about Arrow, which is why I'm excited about the Levan Center. We have to continue to show the success of the businesses by taking some of the challenged businesses and allowing them to walk through the process and be successful and allowing their story to be my biggest megaphone. You know, we've been talking a whole lot since I've been here, but my reality now is, and we just did this with our conference a few weeks ago, over 900 small businesses at the convention center. Ours is let the stories tell themselves. Let these entrepreneurs tell what really happened. Let my one young lady who's a janitorial firm who had been in Broward 20-something years, tried the program back in the late 90s, didn't like the program, ran away, met us, and after 2 years of hearing me, she said, okay, I'll give you a chance. She gave us a chance. She lost her first 2 contracts, but has done nothing but win ever since. She's going to graduate from my program by the end of this year. Her story's a real story because it wasn't easy. It wasn't an automatic, but there was processes and support in place. So one of the ways to demystify or to make sure that small businesses recognize, we're not saying it's easy, but we are saying for that rub, we're not going to abandon you. There's really support systems beyond the county with other partners like Levan and my other members of Arrow that can assist you in starting, stabilizing, growing, and going even beyond government. So we want to make sure that the real message is, guys, we're here to support. It's not easy, but it's not the fact that it's not allowable, that it's not acceptable. You can make this happen, and we just have too many businesses winning to not tell that story. So we just want to get rid of the rub by saying, hey, I got to give you more examples of businesses just like you that were challenged, who are actually successful today.
So my wife is about to start the process of going through the qualification process as a small business owner that she wants to scale.
I know somebody who could help you.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
and I'm watching on the sidelines about what it takes to get qualified. But could you? I know, and there's a lot of information, of course. But what's the general parameters for someone to be qualified, and what makes them qualified? Is it a certain term of business that they've had to been in, a track record?
Gotcha. So for Broward County and similar governments in Miami as well as Palm Beach and some of our cities, we're real simple. If a business has been in Broward County at least a year, then if the business owner has a personal net worth of $1.32 million or less, not counting his or her primary residence, if the gross receipts of a business is averaging $5 million or less over 3 years, or for construction, $9 million or less, and if a business is providing what we call a useful function, that means you're providing something that the county buys, then you can be one of our certified small businesses. Minus those criteria, SBA says small businesses 1 to 500. Anyone can just be a business. You can be in any other state, but you can be in our state, you can be in SunBiz, and you can be a business and decide day 1, day 2, after certification, LLC, S Corp, C Corp, I want to be with the county. Yes, you can. But if you wanted to take advantage of the Certified Small Business Program, those are the criteria that we have. They're not those that are so high that you can't get over. It just asks you if you fit into this space. It's a geographic program. It's not minority. It's not woman. It's a geographic program. If you fit the space, we can help you understand and lead you to doing contracts with Broward County government.
Is it time for your question?
It is time. So we'll see.
Bring out the Rubik's,
we'll see what
baby.
Sandy's like here, because I got potentially 2 questions or 1 question. So my goal here is to stump you. So we're having a little fun with this one. So if you could define yourself as a kitchen appliance right now, what kind of appliance are you, and what kind of appliance would you like to be, and why?
Oh, wow. If I could define myself as a kitchen appliance, which one do I see myself right now this minute? 10-speed blender.
Oh, I like that answer.
I'm the blender. I got that smooth.
You're the Vitamix.
Got that smooth. Got that we need to turn it up. Got that turn up that really needs to be chopped. Got that chopped. So yeah, I'm a blender. But what appliance would I want to be? John, I'll ask you another day where you got this question from, or where this is going. But slowly, what appliance I would want to be? I would want to be that refrigerator and freezer. I would want to be able to accommodate many things, different sizes, requiring some different temperatures, and be able to preserve them to afford them an opportunity to have life, extended life, and those things that might want to keep even a little longer, but need to have a little bit more firmness with them, have that freezer component where we can have them, store them, and when necessary, bring them out, thaw them to be used. So I think the refrigerator is definitely where I want to go.
So I did my job. It was supposed to be thought-provoking to see how you think and apply it. And what you did is you applied it into what you do every day.
Yeah. You did that to me.
I'm a dishwasher. I'm cleaning out messes all the time.
When he said a refrigerator, I went to the fridge, which was the football player for the Chicago Bears up north your way originally, too. So he was a Super Bowl champion as well.
Yes, he was, the fridge.
And you're a champion in your own way. How do potential small business, as they're looking for this, they're looking for you for support, how do they get a hold of you? How do they get a hold of the office?
Yeah,
Sandy?
Thanks for that question, because we want folks to know, and I take John's approach. Hear me. You can start with me. Yeah, I'm not going to pass you on. 954-357-6400 is the office. You can say you heard it from the podcast and schedule a visit. SM McDonald, Sandy, Michael McDonald, SM McDonald at Broward.org is the email. And if you want to learn more before you reach out, Broward.org/econdev. That's short for economic development. Broward.org/econdev. Any one of those you can contact, you can review, you can send a request, you can make a call to meet, and we'll get started based on what you believe you want to do in Broward. I'll meet with you first, and then I'll assign you to staff, and we'll take it from there.
We're so thankful to have you part of the county. Thanks for all your work within the state of Florida as well. And Sandy Michael McDonald, appreciate your time on the podcast today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And before you go, can I ask you a question, Jim?
Please.
Is your fridge running at home?
I think it is.
Oh, you better go catch it. It's the only joke I know.
That's a dad joke, John.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a dad joke.
I'm up here looking at it like, where we going? Better go catch it. All right.
Thanks again, Sandy. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Remember to subscribe, like, and share the Sunshine Startups Live podcast and follow us on social media. If you're interested in sponsoring or appearing on the show, please email us at booking@sunshinestartups.live.